Hello everyone, Jeff and Jay here with Jay's Big Adventure, and today is Farkle Friday. On a lot of the message boards, when people buy their first BMW, they ask, what have you done to the bike to make it better? And I've done a lot of small stuff to this bike, but I'm going to go through them and see whether that might give anybody that is just starting out in the BMW world some advice. On any 160 plus horsepower motorcycle, a good radar detector is a great idea. This is a Valentine 1. It is by far the best detector on the market for a lot of reasons, one of which is I was in charge of production for several years. But anyway, it is mounted on this really slick tech mount, and it is a bunch of different links that are all individually adjustable, and I mounted it on the end of the lever here. And it's just mounted right here on this piece of metal. I'm not quite sure what this is for, but it's flat. I just drilled a hole in it and then just ran a bolt through into the underside of this mount. And as you can see, it's got all kinds of different ways to adjust it. This is just Velcro. Sticks really well. Let's just say that it has been tested to over 150 miles an hour, and it does not come off. And I've also added these LEDs up here, and they go on and off based on the same signal strength as the detector. Flashes really gives you a visual. I've also got a cell phone mount. My cell phone sits here, and of course Valentine has an app so that your phone lights up as well. So I've got 3 different sets of lights going on anytime that there is any kind of alert. On a separate video, I have addressed the awful sound quality of a stock BMW radio. It's not really the radio, it's the Bluetooth connection, which was probably fine in 2006, but is just unacceptable today. What I did was I tied into the speaker level outputs on both sides and ran it through a little converter box that drops it down to line level. That then comes down here to this, which is a Bluetooth transmitter, and that then transmits into my Senna Bluetooth helmet, and whatever I'm listening to on the bike, including navigation instructions, comes through the headset with crystal clear sound. So this travel trunk is a Chinese brand. It was actually designed for scooters, and I love BMW stuff, but really $1,000 for a trunk or $1,500 for a trunk just kind of chapped me, so I bought this on a whim. It was $53 shipped to my house from China. This is now the 3rd season. It works great. Yeah, you have to custom drill some holes to make the mounting bracket work, but I have been really impressed with how long this thing has lasted, and when the time comes, I will probably get another one. Of course, I love having people understand where I'm from, what I'm all about, so I've got the lettering there, and also my custom plate frame. Another huge improvement that I've made to my motorcycling enjoyment isn't actually on the motorcycle, it's on my helmet. This is a Senna S20 Evo headset, and one of the things that I love about this is that it has a headphone input here. What I've done is I've taken a Bose noise canceling headphone set, plugged it in here, this just Velcros on, and now when I have these in my ear, not only is it really quiet with the noise canceling, but I can still use the internal microphone to take and receive phone calls or talk to another rider. Really fun setup, and definitely something that I would recommend. One of the difficulties with this particular setup is that the Wonder Wheel controller now no longer works, because once you set this up properly to play into your helmet, once your helmet volume control to work, it's tough to do with gloves. So I found this little guy. This is just a Bluetooth transmitter that ties into my phone. It links up with my phone, and so now I can adjust volume up and down, pause, fast forward, rewind, all those functions wirelessly. And this works with any Bluetooth phone. So if you've got a phone and wireless headphones and it's tough to reach your phone, this guy is a great addition. The newest modification that I made, and Jay is showing you that right now, is the custom Russell day-long saddle. So our new Russell day-long saddle has arrived, and before we install it, we have to change the lock cylinder out. The seat that I sent to Russell to be rebuilt was not the one that I owned, so I had to take the lock cylinder off. And now we have to reinstall that so that the lock works with the key to my bike. And that lives on a GT here on the back of the rear seat. On a GTL, it's all one piece. But I've taken all the screws out except for these last two guys. So we're just going to take these out of here. And this cylinder just pulls out and lifts off. And then here is the connector for the heated seat, for the rear heated seat. And that plug goes into the back of the switch right here. Now if you notice, this one doesn't have a key in it. Mine does. So all we're going to do is reconnect that. Put these screws in, and we should be ready to mount the seat. So I've got the rest of the screws mounted, and the plate matches just like it did from the factory. And with my key in here, I can now release the seat. So, next step, toss it on the bike, go for a ride. Go to day-long.com, and makes a huge difference. This seat is a very special seat. It's actually a Russell day-long saddle built on a Sargent seat frame, which in itself is wider than the stock BMW seat. Significantly more padding. It's actually shaped like my butt, which is really nice. And just got this on yesterday. Went for a couple 100-mile ride. Can't wait to go big distance. Another one of those small but important upgrades are these little wide view mirror mounts that just stick on to the mirror and really eliminates that blind spot. I always look over my shoulder, but I have missed cars in the past, and with those mirrors, I just don't. Bike wouldn't be a bike without some stickers on it. So this is from the Tail of the Dragon, Route 129 in Tennessee. Been to Highway 101 in California, and I just had this one made just because I thought it was humorous. This windshield is an Aeroflow shield, which I truly love. Got our Utah BMW chapter logo on the windshield, and of course, the GoPro mount, which I use to do all of our videos. One thing I almost forgot is an Aeroflow headlight shield. This Lexan cover protects the ridiculously expensive BMW headlight. These are a couple of $1,000. So get one of those. They're not that expensive, and if it takes a big rock hit, it will make a difference. And guess what? You can get hit by a rock, and it does crack Lexan. So that shield, if I would have gotten hit a couple of feet lower, was a really, really good investment. Coming back to the grips, this little piece of plastic is just one of the best $10 you can spend on a motorcycle. BMW grips tend to be very narrow, so I've added the foam grip puppy grip on top of the regular stock handle grip. But this guy lets you just rest your hand here, and now I can run the throttle without having to hang on. And on a long trip, just being able to rest your hand there and control the throttle just with the weight of your wrist, really, really handy. If you're gonna go on any kind of trip, you gotta have one of those. They're just great. This is my heat controller. Again, a wonderful product made by First Gear. It is a 2-channel wireless controller for heated gear. I can control my vest and a passenger vest, or my vest and my gloves, independently with this product. Of course, Jay and I raise awareness for the Alzheimer's Association. Go to alz.org, find your local chapter, attend one of the walks to end Alzheimer's. We would greatly appreciate your support. Last but not least is this roll-around stand. This is made by a company called Venom. There are a bunch of different versions of this out here. They range anywhere from 75 bucks like this one to $200. And this is a 700-pound motorcycle, and I can just push it around. It's really easy to maneuver. Lets me push the bike into very, very tight spots, and I was really surprised. It's a little tough to get on the center stand, so I made this little ramp here and just stuck some pieces of wood together to get the bike a little bit higher off the ground, and lets me raise and lower that bike single-handedly. Well guys, that is it for Farkle Friday. That is everything that I've done with the bike so far. I've got videos on changing the brake pads, on changing the antifreeze, on putting several different types of batteries on the bike. Follow Jaysbigadventure on YouTube or on Instagram at instagram.com/Jaysbigadventure. We do car and motorcycle videos, and I tell you what, we are just jonesing for spring so we can go out and do some more.